Tony, what's going on? How we doing today, brother? Trying to trying a new setup today, so hopefully it works. How's everything? How we doing, guys? Bear with me here with my new setup. Can you hear me loud and clear, Tone? Rachel, what's up? What's up, guys? Actually deciding to use the computer for a change instead of working everything off the cell phone. So bear with me. Hopefully everybody's having a great night. Good morning, depending where you are. I wanted to troubleshoot this tonight because tomorrow night when I go live immediately following SmackDown, uh, I want to I want to give this setup a try, and we'll see how that goes. So, um, let's give it a whirl, right? Miss J, what's up? What's up? Yeah, finally graduating from just using the tablet or the cell phone. I think I'm just going to use the desktop and all that from now on. So we'll adjust accordingly. I'll use the microphone for now, as long as it works good and you guys could hear me well. And we'll really get going tomorrow night for SmackDown. But I wanted to hop on here for a little bit, and plus, look, an added plus. We'll work on the lighting, but you get a broader view of the studio. So how about that? How's that work? Very nice, Tony. Very nice. I know, Miss J. It's gonna take some time. It's gonna take some time to get adjusted here. Um, that's awesome. Yeah, I'm glad. And I also heard it's more user friendly once somebody like myself or whenever a creator goes and uses something, not just their cell phone or whatever. So glad that's working. Oh, congrats, Rachel. Awesome. Awesome. Very cool. So, guys, feel free to chop it up and talk whatever you want to discuss. I know I was on here a little earlier today and we talked about mostly everything we needed to. How about Sonia Deville, or formerly known as Sonia Deville? Did you check out her video she posted earlier today with her wife, talking about her release from WWE 10 days ago and all that? She seems to be taking it pretty good, taking it like a champ. Seems like she's got a lot of other outside endeavors going on for her outside of pro wrestling. So it seems like it's going to work out for her. So maybe we will not see Sonya. I know a lot of people were wondering if we're going to see her in TNA or AEW or somewhere, but I don't know. It looks like maybe that's not the case. Um, yeah, bro, Tony, I got these New Day plushies you can see behind me. I actually got these back in 2019. I took a trip to Florida. I think I may have been one of the last times I went to Florida, believe it or not. And before I got to my destination, I happened to stop off at a mall, get something to eat. I stopped at FYE, and all these New Day ones behind me here were for on sale. So those were the first plushies I ever had. All the other ones were from the last year or two. So how's that? TNA was good tonight, Rachel. I saw the message. I didn't open the thread, but I said I saw a lot of people complain about the technical issues on TNA tonight. What was going on with TNA? What's that all about? But I did see Elijah or Elias. That's cool. And Primo and Epico. Yes, that you can, Rachel. You can see your man Roman a little bit better with this view. So I'm sure at minimum you're appreciating that. Let's see. Thought he Oh, you thought Elijah joined AEW? I'm catching up with the chat now. Yeah, I thought he joined AEW too because a couple weeks ago he had that segment, that vignette with the righteous, right? With Vincent and Dutch. So I thought it was a foregone conclusion that we were going to see Elijah sign with AEW or Ring of Honor by default. So I wonder how that's going to work. I wonder if Vincent and Dutch are making their way out of Ring of Honor maybe soon, maybe going to TNA or something like that. Or I don't know how that's working. Or maybe this was a one-off for Elijah, unless he's got a contract going on or something. Let's see. Still got some. Yeah, I hear you, Tony. I got my box over there, man. To my right, from 2016 when they came out. Let's see. Next Thursday, it's going to be the System versus the Hardys. Oh, that's interesting. That's interesting. The System versus the Hardys and Obafemi. Very cool. Very cool. All right, so we'll see. We'll see. Moose and Oba mix it up in some capacity. It's not singles yet, but The Rock's on SmackDown tomorrow night. Look at all this news I missed in the last couple hours while fiddling around the house. Okay, Miss J, The Rock's on SmackDown tomorrow. Is that so? Let's see. Will he appear as the final boss, or will we get more of that stuff we saw on the 6th and 7th on that Raw and NXT? Let's see here. You remember Elijah Burke, best finisher in the business? WWE should have used him more. Yeah, Elijah Burke's awesome, man. As a matter of fact, I have a glove that I don't think you could see behind me, but I think it may be on the lower shelf. Anyway, I had won a boxing glove a couple years ago. I was actually in a contest that Elijah Burke was running back in 2018, and I won it. And it was Evander Holyfield signed glove, so he was very nice. Let's see. Sig the Rock needs to just make another. Yeah, Tony. Many would agree with you, and I'm one of the many. Um, but I am curious what's going to happen there, Rachel. The final boss is back on SmackDown tomorrow night. Yeah, Sean. I believe Miss J was just saying that. I'm very curious to see what's going to happen with The Rock. You know, we're on the road to WrestleMania. We are exactly 2 months away, or technically less than now. Um, less than 2 months to WrestleMania. So we'll see what happens. Let's see. Yeah, Vander Holyfield's great. He is, Tony. He's one of my favorites, definitely of all time. Thank you, Miss J. Thank you. Hey, everything's just going to continue to improve with time. Sound quality, lighting, and I like the fact that on this desktop, and this isn't even the, you know, Apple webcam I'm using. I'm actually using an additional webcam I bought. It's actually a little bit of a slightly better picture, a little more vivid. So I think we're doing all right here. Doing all right. Thank you. It's funny him and Tyson are in business together. That's funny, Tony. That's funny. Very cool. But all right. So a lot of you said TNA was pretty good tonight. What other highlights were there? Obviously, we got that 6-man match next week. We got Elijah that was in the main event with Joe Hendry. What else took place? How about the women's division? Who went up against Tessa? Who went up against Tessa? Was Tasha Steeles on Impact or was she on the Explosion episode prior to? Because I did see a picture of her, but that may have been prior to them going on air tonight. Let's see here. Thank you, Rachel. Appreciate that. Appreciate the sentiment, Miss J. I know I do miss those TikTok gifts over here. I gotta say, I'm looking forward to the super chats one day here, though. That will be fun. That'll be fun soon enough. Soon enough. Um, she refused to wrestle. Was that a storyline type of deal, Rachel? As far as Tessa was concerned, I'm assuming that was some kind of an angle. I haven't watched TNA in years. Are they still in Universal Studios? No, Tony. I don't believe they are. I'm fairly certain they're not. I mean, tonight they were in Orlando. They were at Full Sail, where NXT used to do all their stuff for many years. So very interesting. Let's see here. Don't want to pan too high there. There we go. Okay, let's see. Next week, if Tessa doesn't wrestle, she'll be fired. Interesting. Any inclination who she might be going up against next week, Rachel? Is it going to be a surprise? Or are they going to potentially have somebody pop up from NXT? Maybe that'd be cool. It says I can purchase stickers. Oh, okay. Look at that. Look at that. All right. That's a bummer. I wonder what they ended up doing with that old Nick Studios. Yeah, I'm curious, Tony. Roman versus Rock at WrestleMania. You still think we're going to get that, Sean? Okay. I mean, look, not all hope is lost. And if we do, by all means, I'm here for it. I am at the point with Roman and The Rock that, hey, if we could just finally get this damn match to happen, the sooner the better. Nobody's getting younger here, including all of us. Fortunately, we don't have to wrestle at WrestleMania, even though that would be a pretty cool bucket list item, right? But thank God that hopefully sooner than later we could get Roman Rock. If they swing it last minute this year, sure. But with him coming in tomorrow night, we're just 2 months away. That's a comfortable amount of time. You know what I mean? 2 months is enough to catch up with that build and all that. That'd be fun. But if he's just here for some PR stunt tomorrow night, I'm going to be thoroughly disappointed. But I will say that I will not be surprised if that's what he's here for tomorrow night. Let me catch up to a couple more comments here. Okay, let's see. They did not say, okay, gotcha. Oh, I like that. I like that, Miss J. Nice sticker you got there. No, Rock ain't wrestling a whole match, sadly. Yeah, we'll see, Tony. Time will tell. Cora Jade attacked the teenage champion. She attacked Masha Slamovich yet again. Pay-per-view, it's going to be Cora versus the champ. Okay, that should be a decent match. Again, I'm very indifferent with Cora Jade. I like her. I do, believe it or not. And it seems, and my daughter's middle name is Jade. I like Jade Cargill. I like Cora Jade. Okay, I like the name Jade. Let me just preface it by saying that before Miss J goes in on me about how I speak about Jade Cargill and stuff like that. But when it comes to Cora Jade, I know she's went out with 2 injuries, right? Over the last couple of years, it's really hobbled her quite literally, and Nikita Lyons too. I can't say I'm overly excited to see Cora Jade going forward. I'm excited for the crossover, perhaps with Masha Slamovich. We all know Masha's going to retain. So yes, I'm looking forward to the match, just like I liked seeing her in the Vengeance Stay Fatal 4-Way the other night. I was surprised that Cora Jade did not take the pinfall. Um, did not take that pin Saturday night, but I do like the fact that they had Julia pin Roxanne to let us know that Roxanne is seemingly in fact done with NXT, and now she's graduated and can move on to Monday Night Raw. She's in the chamber and so on. So we'll see what happens there. Let's see here. Insurance has to be in the stratosphere. I think it's coming out to address the solo. Okay, Solo Jacob feud. Interesting. Okay, I like Solo. He's the new Umaga. Yeah, I like Solo too. And honestly, Tony, I know Solo's been very overshadowed the last 6 to 8 months with Jacob, and many would say for good reason. But once they all kind of branch apart over time, even if we're talking a year or two from now, Solo is going to go on and have a very good singles career. Um, I'm not even trying to compare where him and Jacob will stand when it's all said and done, but Solo has a lot of promise, a lot more than people think, because Solo's actually very entertaining on the mic. If you've seen any of his stuff in the indies or any clips, he's very funny. He's actually a lot more personality than one might think. So, I think the potential down the line of not only having a Solo Jacob feud now, sure, in the bloodline, in this new bloodline type of deal, sure. But I think even if we're talking like years down the line, 3, 4, 5 years, I think Solo and Jacob could meet again. Where Solo is an incredibly funny babyface, or a sarcastic heel, and Jacob, same thing. He could still be a vicious heel, or maybe it could be during that one run where Jacob has an ultimate babyface run. So again, I think both of them are going to thrive in WWE, even though everybody's pretty much got their sights set on Jacob Fatu right now, and again for good reason. So let's see here. You want your boy Joe on the show again? Who are we referring to there, Tony? I like the video they did between Booker and Zilla. I'll have to check that out, Miss J. I think Mike on TikTok had just sent me, just got a notification from him as we're on here, so I'll have to check that out after this live. Let's see here. I did too. Booker still got it. Yeah, Booker's entertaining. Very overzealous when Stephanie Vaquer does her business on NXT, that's for sure. Rumor retires. Who do you see to be the next tribal chief? Rachel, as you and me already know, there's only one OTC, and he's right, there. I'm trying to get my angles right here. It's right there, right? But in all sincerity, if they do another bloodline, or I'm sure it's just going to be a family thing throughout the years, I don't know who it could be. I mean, I think the obvious choice would probably be for starters a Jacob Fatu, right? I think that's for certain. But who knows? Who knows what the future holds? Um, and let me see here. Why do you think Stevie didn't go to WWE too? Stevie Ray. Now, wasn't he initially with WWE for a very brief time in the beginning? I could be wrong. Wasn't he there for a very brief moment? Again, I had stepped out of watching wrestling at that moment in time. By then, by the time they purchased WCW and stuff. But to be honest with you, I'm sure he's got. I'm pretty sure I heard clips of Stevie Ray saying as to why things didn't work out that way. Um, with WWE. But let's all be honest too. When it comes to the Harlem Heat and stuff like that, we all knew from day one. I was a big Harlem Heat fan myself. Booker T was always the main character out of that situation, right? So I'm not surprised that Booker went on to have a very illustrious career in WWE and TNA and so on. And that Stevie Ray, he didn't do too much, notably outside of WCW after that. Samoa Joe. Yeah, Samoa Joe's great there, Tony. And referring to your prior comment, yeah, how do you like, Tony? I'm not sure if you said you watch any AEW. How do you like that trios they got going on with Hook and Shibata? I believe they're called the Ops. Had a few dark matches, but no Raw or anything. What did you think of that rookie show, LFG, Legends Future Greats? Who didn't like? Oh, you're talking about referring about the guy that did not shake hands with Bubba, or vice versa. Yeah, I mean, I've seen that guy the last year or so. I think ever since the Performance Center or WWE brought him in, that's kind of been like his gimmick. It seems like that's just how he is in real life. He's a bit of an a-hole, I guess you could say. That's just his thing. He met his match with Bully Ray or Bubba Ray. He's a bit of an a-hole too. So they're cut from. I don't want to say they're completely cut from the same cloth, but they have a lot of similar, um, similar ways about themselves. So I'm not completely surprised that episode one sparked off right away between those two, and we'll see what happens. Maybe they make peace over time. We'll see. But I don't think either one of them are budging. And so for the Undertaker to call that guy out too, kind of like saying, "What are you doing, man?" Taker was right, regardless of what Bubba said or how that guy reacted. AEW, I'm confused by Khan's booking. Yeah, I think we all are, Tony, for sure. Think we all are a little stumped at times with the booking over there in AEW. But guys, I want to say thank you for joining me on this late night topics episode. Just testing out the new setup here. So for Friday night SmackDown's review tomorrow night, obviously immediately following the show. We are all set to go. Seems like the audio's working out good. The lighting, hopefully, get better in time, but it's still pretty good here. Um, we'll work on getting everything orchestrated. But hey, you get a broader view of the studio here, which is cool, and so that's good. Let's see. If you were on that show, who would you pick as your coach? Rachel, I would have to say the Undertaker. I would have to say the Undertaker, to be completely honest with you. I feel like that would be the best way about it. Now, look, if I'm talking like a typical guy would, I mean, who in the hell would not pick Mickey James, right? Um, but realistically, I would have to go with the Undertaker. Say he coached me, that'd be awesome. Let me give you my order. How's that sound? I would probably go um, Undertaker would be my first choice. My second choice would be Booker T. Third choice would be Mickey James, and my fourth choice would be Bubba Ray Dudley. And honestly, the only reason Bubba Ray is number four is literally process of elimination. Taker's top tier to me. Booker T, because Harlem Heat was probably my favorite tag team in all of WCW. And then, of course, who doesn't love Mickey James? And then, yeah, there's Bubba Ray Dudley. Much respect to him as well. Two-time Hall of Famer, right? Uh, so why not? Let's see here. Mickey is amazing. Yep. Yeah, Sean, Undertaker is just one of a kind, man. To say he was your coach, whether it was a day or a month or a year, to say the Undertaker coach you at any point in time is just absolutely priceless. The fact that I got to meet him in 2017 was absolutely priceless. So for him to be my coach would be super cool. And the cool thing about it is, all four of those people, including Shawn Michaels on the show, I had met all five of them. I met who did I meet first? I actually met Bubba Ray Dudley in 2015. Excuse me. I'm still getting over that cold. I met Bubba Ray Dudley in 2015. And then I met at the same exact show there in Philadelphia, I met Shawn Michaels, Booker T, and Mickey James that very same day in 2016 in Philly. And then a year later, I met The Undertaker in Long Island. So that's how that went. They were all awesome. I mean, Bubba Ray was a man of few words. Mickey was awesome. Booker T was cool. We did the 5-time hand gesture, as you could see back here. There's the picture with Booker. And yeah, so that was dope. And then Taker was cool. And yeah, that was a fun time. That was a fun time. And when I met Shawn Michaels, the cool thing about Shawn Michaels, I met him roughly about 1 week after he was on WrestleMania 32. Now, if you remember WrestleMania 32, Dallas, Texas, again, April 2016. Who came out? I think was it the New Day they approached? It was either the New Day or the League of Nations. Maybe it was the League of Nations. It was one of those two groups. And you saw Mick Foley, Stone Cold Steve Austin, and the Heartbreak Kid, Shawn Michaels, all came out and did their signature moves out there. Saw a Sacco, a Stunner, a Sweet Chin Music. And so to meet Shawn Michaels a week after he was actually on WrestleMania in any capacity was really cool. That was a really cool time. You couldn't pay me to take Bubba as my coach unless I was trying to be a top guy. Yeah, I hear you, Tone. Did you see the video Nick posted? 6-man tag match tonight. Cody, Damian, and Braun versus. No, I did not see that, Rachel. I did not catch that. Yeah, got to do the 5-time for our man Booker T for sure, Tone. Braun's so good. He's definitely, or Braun's so good. He's definitely a Steiner. Yeah. Yeah, Braun Breaker's gonna go on and have a great career. I mean, he already is doing great. Guys, I just want to take this time as I'm getting used to my new setup here. Be sure to hit that thumbs up, guys. Every one of those likes count in this chat. So hit that thumbs up, hit that like. I know anybody that's commenting is a subscriber. I did throw it on subscriber mode only for the chat, which is a cool feature too, to remind people, to subscribe to the channel. Be sure to hit that notifications bell. And look, if you are watching and you're not able to comment or haven't chose to do so, be sure to subscribe so you have the capability of commenting on any of these live videos here, whether it be tonight, whether it's on a Monday or Friday immediately following Raw or SmackDown. And again, I would love to hear your commentary, your 2 cents on whatever the topic may be here on Turnbuckle Topics. And as most of you already know, not only do I shout you out and bring up your topic in the comments, I typically respond to most of them as well. So let's see here. Sean says, I want to meet Taker and Shawn Michaels. Yeah, I was very fortunate to meet Michaels and Taker. Stone Cold Steve Austin, that's a big one for me, man. I know somebody asked me earlier today on YouTube or TikTok who would I love to meet next, and it's without question Stone Cold Steve Austin. Cherry on top is me and him get to crack a cold one together, preferably one of his beverages. So that would be cool. Um, Tony says you met Sean. It wasn't a good time, but it was the '90s. Yeah, he was much different in the '90s, as we all know, Tone, than when I got to meet him in 2016. Right after WrestleMania 32. But I believe it, man. I believe it. I met the majority of the people that I met, probably again close to probably 150 wrestlers, men and women, over the last several years. There's literally a handful that I had bad interactions with, or that were just unfriendly. Majority of them were awesome, so mostly good things to say. Fortunately, for my encounters here. Um, so that's that. But yeah, anything you guys want to discuss while I'm still here? Chopping it up with you guys, checking out the new setup. I'm just messing with some buttons and stuff like that. So still keeping an eye on the live chat here. And again, guys, I will be on immediately following Friday Night SmackDown tomorrow, per usual. Now that I'm back and feeling better and healthy, I'll be on immediately following SmackDown tomorrow to go over Friday Night SmackDown in its entirety. Let's see. D'Lo was so nice. Nice. I never met D'Lo. I met Val Venus in 2016, was it? I met him in 2016. Rachel says, "You remember when you were 17, WWE came to your town, first WWE live, and oh, you got a hug from John Cena. Look at you, Rachel. I'm telling Roman. Look, I know it was years ago, but I'm still telling Roman. So, hey, look, the big Valboski. Yeah, I had it when I met him in 2016 because I know he won at least the Intercontinental Championship, right? Was he a European champ too? But I had Val Venus sign my Intercontinental Championship. I remember that much. Remember that much. He was a piece of work, man. I know he tends to be quite a controversial figure these days for a variety of reasons, which I won't get into. But he was controversial then for different reasons. So I liked him a lot then when he was controversial when I was barely a teen and laying with Terry Reynolds. That was fun. That's awesome, Sean. You met Sheamus in Colorado. I met Sheamus in Philadelphia. The same weekend, I met John Cena, the Bellas, Seth, and Sasha Banks. I believe it was a Philly Comic Con in 2016. 16 was a good year to meet a lot of talent. Sheamus, to this day, as I tell many of you on whatever live I go on, Sheamus was one of the nicest wrestlers I've ever met, by far and in large. He even told me when he had his first pint, he was, not 21, right? But back in Ireland, which was pretty cool. But Sheamus was very personable, man. Do you think Cena will get another belt? And yes, he was European champion. I thought so, Tony. I do think Cena will win 17, uh, probably second half of the year, right? I don't think it happens at Mania. Um, Again, even if he wins the Chamber, I still don't see him beating Cody Rhodes. I don't. If it's Punk, I think Punk has a higher probability, but we'll see. At that time, Cena was your crush. Okay, this is before Roman Reigns was in the picture, Rachel. So to be fair to you, you didn't know what was up next, right? In 2012 and beyond. So you get a pass. You get a pass there. You missed the European title. I'll be honest, Tony. When I got back into wrestling in 2011, right, I had been out of wrestling for years, and I saw the United States Championship was a prominent thing, and many other things going on in wrestling. And a lot of the titles look different. Rightfully so. I'd been out of it for years, and when I saw that the European Championship was no longer a thing, I was thoroughly disappointed, man. I said, "You got to be kidding me!" Outside of the Winged Eagle and the main WWF Championship title, man, and the tag team titles were great back then in the '90s too. Majority in the '90s as well. Beautiful thing. But I was a huge fan of the European Championship. Again, I remember British Bulldog winning that title against Owen Hart in the inaugural final for that match, for that championship. I remember the one night only special where Shawn Michaels became the second European champion, defeating again a British Bulldog at the one night only. Just a week or two before my first ever episode of Monday Night Raw in September of 1997 at Madison Square Garden. So very cool stuff. Very cool stuff. What's up, Justin? My man, Justin. Let me tell you something about this guy. If you're a wrestling fan, guys, go ahead and check out my boy Justin. Me and Justin, I've known him since at least what, '07, '08, and we go way back through mutual friends and family. And we even used to do a Raw review. All right, we used to review every episode of Monday Night Raw for the better portion of a good part of late 2022, early 2023. And so check out it's just wrestling media, guys. Says he'd love to meet Cena this year. That's awesome. It's awesome. Yeah, Cena was cool. Cena was cool. Let's see here, Tone. Asian Europe is so much less. Oh wow, that's wild, Tony. Well, where the hell were you years ago, man? I didn't know that. Rachel says when I was 19, you got a hug from Seth. You're getting Miss J all riled up here, Rachel Reigns. What are we doing here? Look, Miss J's loving it though. Tony goes on to say, when Cody wore the eagle, I was so happy. Yeah, I was. That was awesome, man. Saturday night's main event. That was an amazing thing to see. That really was cool. Um, let's see. Was it you who said something about a dude named Tommy Invincible? It wasn't me, Miss J, but I'm very familiar with Tommy Invincible, and I saw a couple weeks ago. John Cena even posted him on his Instagram. Uh, yeah, absolutely, Just. Yeah, guys, check out It's Just Wrestling Media. Justin's great, great dude, man. Longtime friend. The new mic is in. All right, cool. I remember you said it was around this time. So, yeah, I didn't tell you, Justin, but ever since I think was it last Friday when I did my last review after SmackDown, dude, that night going into the Saturday, brutal, brutal sinus infection from then until like as I'm still it's still lingering, but at least I'm manageable now. But I was wiped out for like 4 or 5 days. It was brutal. But now I'm getting there. I'm getting back. So hopefully soon we could definitely link up. It's quite literally been a couple years. I think the last time me and Justin, again, who were doing a weekly Monday Night Raw review on my podcast, when I was just doing audio podcasts in 2022, 2023, I think the last review me and Justin did was, or even predictions episode rather, was going into WrestleMania 39. You think the Nature Boy Ric Flair will wrestle for WWE as they retired? Sean, I don't know. I'm sure if it was up to Ric Flair, he'd throw a few back and do a couple chops, but I think we'd rather not see that. Let's see. He went live on TikTok, so it reminded me of whoever talked. Oh, okay, Miss J. Nice. He went live on TikTok today. Tommy Invincible. Good for him, man. I would have liked to see the Horseman one last time. All right. Well, Tony, I forget if you told me this a couple weeks ago, but what was your favorite rendition of the Horsemen? There has been like 20 of them, right? I know a lot of people say Arn, Tully, of course, Rick, and um, then it comes down to, was it Ole Anderson that you liked? Was it Barry Windham that you liked? Barry Windham, obviously, being the uncle of Bray and Bo, who made the whole Uncle Howdy thing be a thing, right? So that was pretty dope. Let's see. Yesterday, okay, Miss J. Has been a while excited to do my live stream for the Elimination Chamber next weekend. Nice. Yeah, definitely. Yeah, yeah, I rarely am doing those. So definitely check out Justin, guys. It's Just Wrestling Media. Lately, he's been doing a lot of the live streaming during the events here on YouTube. So I know he did it for the Royal Rumble. He plans on doing it March 1st for the Elimination Chamber. So check that out. Check that out and chop it up with him, see what's going on. And again, it should be a lot of fun. We got 4 matches scheduled right now. We got that tag team match: Trish Stratus, Tiffany Stratton going up against Nia Jax, Candice LeRae. Got the 6 men in the men's chamber, 6 women in the women's chamber, and then last but certainly not least, we got Sami Zayn. We got Sami Zayn versus Kevin Owens, so that'll be a lot of fun as well. Tony says Rick, Tully, Barry, JJ Dillon. Okay, very cool. Very cool. Why do you think Stacy retired so young? It was strictly her choice, seemingly, and I had stopped watching by this point in time. So do I know? Absolutely. Maybe she's one on record to say as to why. Like when Kelly retired at what, 26, 27. You know, I guess she had just seen and done quite enough. And it was a very, let's be honest here, like it was a very uncomfortable time for women at that time and all the things that they were like damn near forced to do or pretty much put up against. It was, I'm sure, on a weekly basis. It did a lot to your self-esteem or self-confidence. You were doing some degrading stuff and questionable stuff. I know a lot of people laughed at it as fans or us as guys, but like there was definitely some times where, I mean, man, they were definitely treated not the best. So I could see as to why they felt as to why they did. But who knows? I don't know as to why Stacy retired young. Let's see. Rachel says, just got a Joe Hendry pop up from X. He said, cross the line. You can't see me. Ooh. Like I said, Rachel, a couple of months ago, man, I would love nothing more. And Joe Hendry said it. Nick Nemeth, Dolph Ziggler said it. They love nothing more than to have John Cena show up on an episode of TNA, which the likelihood is very likely now that they have a partnership deal, and the simple fact that if there's actually a scheduled match against a Joe Hendry for his title, I mean, how fun would that be? And I also may mention, I know I'm not the only one, and I don't know, people might not like Joe Hendry, Cena rather, getting his 17th title being a TNA title. But hey, man, if Cena don't win the Chamber and he don't get a match with Orton or something in some kind of an awesome non-title capacity at Mania. Give me John Cena, Joe Hendry at Mania. I don't care. Let Cena win that one. I mean, hey, it might not be the way people intended it being, winning the WWE World Heavyweight Championship or the Undisputed Championship. But hey, Joe Hendry, getting a match at Mania, and then John Cena being the defending champion for the TNA World Championship, and that being his 17th title. That'd be pretty cool, man. That'd be pretty cool. But I don't know. That's a far shot. But nonetheless, Cena showing up on TNA in any capacity is a big deal. That's a big deal, right? Who the hell would have thought that ever happened? Tony says Kelly's getting paid though. Yeah, Kelly looks great, man. A lot of these women have outside interests too. You got Tori Wilson doing her thing and everybody else. Let's see here. Mr. Women's Division, totally agree. Yeah, at least Molly Holly's working backstage. You saw her on the Legends Future Great show the other day. Behind the scenes where Mickey James is at the forefront as one of the coaches, but obviously, Molly Holly, a Hall of Famer, doing her thing. I think I got a Molly Holly back here. I think my big head's blocking it, but where you at, Molly? Where is she? No, that's Samu. There's Molly Holly. There's Molly Holly back there on the second shelf. But anyway, let's see. Cena and Cross and no line, brother. That's not happening. Hey, you never know. Never say never in pro wrestling, Tony. You've been a fan long enough to know. Never say never. How about AJ Styles in TNA wrestling for one more match? Yeah, I mean, now that he's back healthy, why not, Sean? Why not? You know what I mean? How about let's see, AJ going back? That would be amazing. That would be cool. Mandy Rose, yeah, she definitely has her thing or two, right, Miss J? She's feeling pretty good for herself. That Mandy Rose. I would have liked to see her in the Rumble, but then again, it wouldn't have been as cool because being that Tiffany Stratton's the champion, and that's the one she called out like a week prior to the Rumble for stealing her line about putting respect on her name. It's funny that you should talk about respect, but hey, who am I to judge? To be honest, though, I think that would have been fun if Tiffany was in the Rumble and not champion, and then have Mandy Rose come in and those two mix it up. That would have been pretty cool. I think Cena will cross the line. Yeah, we'll see, Rach. That'd be great. I wish your money could have gotten back together in WWE. Yeah, that would have been nice. That would have been nice to see Robert Roode or Bobby Roode and James Storm get together there, right, Tony? That would have been cool. We were all waiting on James Storm to show up. Well, maybe not all of us, but a lot of us thought that James Storm would show up in WWE at one point or another, right? And he was supposed to have AJ Styles' theme song in 2016. Ended up going to AJ, and hey, that's cool. That's fine by me. I think I'm caught up with the chat here, guys. Let's see here. I'm surprised he never went seriously. Yeah. Yeah, I am too. I am too. For whatever reason, I didn't get the dissertation as to why it didn't work out, but I mean, hey, it is what it is. But hey, guys, look, go ahead and hit that subscribe button if you have not already. Going to hang with you guys a little bit. Thank you to those that were with me here earlier today. All right, that were here with me earlier on YouTube as well as TikTok. I know a lot of you back and forth. Appreciate it greatly. Let's see. Can you imagine the pop AJ Styles would get if he showed up at TNA? I'll be massive, Rachel, and deservedly so. Just a lot that he's sorry, my audio popped. Just a lot that he's went through. You know what I mean? Like he's went through a whole lot the last year, at least year plus, with his health. So that's for sure. That'd be a lot of fun. So did WWE give up rights to Edge's song? Yeah. So I mean, with Metalingus, I guess they never really had the full on shebang. I mean, it wasn't a producer through them, right? It wasn't CFO. It wasn't Def Rebel, thank God. It wasn't Jim Johnson and Jimmy Hart. So, I mean, I guess they never really had the full rights to it as to why he was able to show up on AEW at Wrestle Dreams since October 1st, 2023. Who's counting? And, but the thing that I liked, I don't know if he kept it. I'm sure he did, but the part in the beginning where you think you know me, at least when he debuted, I don't know if it's still that way, but he had Beth, obviously his wife, do that voiceover, which I thought was a really cool touch to add to his new theme. So, are we going to see you on? Are you going to see me on TikTok next, Rachel? The night is young, right? The night is young, especially if you're on the West Coast. It's only 9:42 there. We'll see. We'll see. Maybe I'll do one time for the West Coast. We'll see. It's a game time decision, Rach. They didn't have the rights song writers. I assume so, Tony. Mercedes song is combined with Imperium song. Yeah, they use that symphony bit. Yeah, the Beethoven or whatever bit. Excuse me. Those voice ain't back fully. But yeah, Miss J. Yeah, I did read that. As soon as that theme song dropped last March, I had read that. The internet doesn't miss ever. And yeah, I don't know, man. There was no, I don't care what anybody says. There was no better song than Sasha's first NXT song. Not even her second one with Snoop doing the remix. Sky's the limit. That one was the coolest. That was the coolest one by far and large. Out of her what, four theme songs, she's had the NXT one, then the remix when she came back with the blue hair in 2019. That summer with the Snoop remix, the Blueprint type deal. Then she came to New Japan with that song she had for a cup of coffee, and then when she debuted with this new song last March, yeah, again, the best one by far, it's not even close, was that first one. Let's see here. I'm sure Edge could have gotten his Rob Zombie. Yeah, true. I feel so bad for Asuka. They need to do something. Yeah, what's going on with Asuka? They still, I don't know what's going on. I see her tweeting all the time. Does she have people coming after her? What the hell's going on there? Oh, I want to see her back in the ring. I just want to make sure she's safe. Pro wrestling is fire lately. It's great to be. It is. I don't know if he's still in here, Rachel, but there's a friend of mine, Justin. If you're here, Justin, you may have left the chat, but hit us with the tagline about being a pro wrestling fan. We would love to hear it. It's wild, Tone. Let's see. Does Jacob Fatu get the Ulafala first? So would the or does he get the World or Universal Championship? Great question, Fettuccine. Thank you for the subscribe. Um, does he deserve to Ulafala? With that Roman there, sure. But honestly, I'll say he wins before he gets the Ulafala. I think he does win a main title first. But I wouldn't be surprised otherwise. As predicted, Ricochet is going nowhere. What in the world? Yeah, I mean, hey, he says he's out of this world, Miss J. That's why. Um, who knows? I am enjoying the heel character he's leaning into the last 3 or 4 weeks, though, because he's finally falling into some semblance of a character where, you know what, I could at least listen to it. And he still does the goofy laugh at the end to keep it kind of comedic. I can get with it. I can get with it. I can't say I'm crazy about it, but it's better than the babyface stuff we had to see the first 4 or 5 months, right? So I can deal with it. Um, Not her address or anything. Wow, that's crazy, Tone. People are crazy, man. People are crazy out there. Got to be careful. Got to be careful out there. I knew they wouldn't do anything with Rico. Yeah, I mean, look, Rico still puts on a great match as we all expected, but let's be fair. All right, let's be fair here. Honestly, did they rush a lot of Ricochet's matches that should have been built up over time, like the Will Ospreys and such early on? Even Swerve, they did that a lot early on. Perhaps that I agree. Now, can you truly or completely fault AEW completely for you know the lack of getting over or the fact of not just Ricochet's presentation, but just how he is after all these years on the mic? I mean, can you complete? I don't think you can really fault the company for how he comes across in a babyface or heel sense. Again, I think the heel bit has helped him a lot more so than his first few months as a babyface. But look, there's blame to be placed on both sides. So, to be fair, I was reading Solo wants a rematch for the Ulafala. All right, it's not like he's going to win it though, Rachel. We know that. Even if he gets it, he's not going to win that. I think Randy will have the most titles when he's done. Yeah, no, Tony, I love Cena, and I went on record to say this months ago. I would have no problem with Randy Orton being the guy who had the most title reigns. I'm a big Randy guy. I like Randy a little more than Cena. So you ain't gonna hear no problems from me. You ain't gonna hear no pushback from me in that regard. That would be cool. That would be cool. All right, guys, it's been a fun 40 minutes or so. Anybody, whatever more topics you want to discuss for a little bit longer? I know it's getting late here. Again, guys, be sure to hit that thumbs up when you make your way in here, as well as to, subscribe. Obviously, if you're commenting, you subscribed already. I put it on subscriber mode only, so thank you. But for those that are just viewing and maybe not participating in the comment section, go ahead and subscribe. Go ahead and subscribe, and if you feel like commenting, so be it. Let's see here. Stalkers are horrible. It happened to a women's player, a tennis player. Wow, that's crazy. I mean, that's horrifying. I say that as a man, Miss J. So, for a woman to a female having to deal with a stalker, I can only imagine how scary that is. WWE had to move her house. Wild. That's crazy, Tone. Wow. Yeah, perhaps, Rachel. It may look that way. It may look that way. Again, guys, be sure to hit that thumbs up, that like button before you head out of here. Hit the thumbs up, and thank you for any new subscribers during this stream. Appreciate you. Let's see here. Yeah, yeah, that's damn true, Tone. That's true. So, guys, in the comments, Let me know here. We're almost 2 full months into the new year. Hard to believe, right? What have you enjoyed most? What have you enjoyed most about pro wrestling thus far this year? Let me know. Let me know. Let me see something here. Damn, that's nuts, Miss J. Royal Rumble you enjoyed thus far, Sean? What did you enjoy most about the Rumble, though? Was it the surprise of the men's Rumble? Was it that? You enjoyed Braun Breaker and the Rumble in addition to the Rumble? Okay. Yeah, Braun Breaker's been a enjoyable part. Honestly, Triple H era has been pretty good. Fire. Yeah, Triple H era has been collectively good. My only honest criticism right now is probably the women's mid card. I mean, obviously the tag team title situation may amp up as early as this Monday, which is very keeping a keen eye on that. The only thing I'm very critical right now about is the women's mid card. Okay, if we could get Chelsea Green in that U.S. title and Lyra Valkyria in that Intercontinental title, and I know Lyra has a number one contender in Dakota, so be it. And it seems like Chelsea's been bouncing around with Mish in the last couple of months. Okay, but let's really get the ball rolling in the mid card. Let's get some good matches, some good feuds. Let's get some good matches in the mid card that doesn't pertain to a title opportunity or a number one contenders match, right? How about we really build up the win loss record in that mid card, and so that you eventually don't have to have a number one contenders match. You just see who's performed so well over X amount of weeks, and you say, hey, you know what? This person deserves to get that opportunity against Lyra or against Chelsea, and go from there. I would like to see more emphasis in the women's division mid card. That's my only honest thing right now. Outside of that, collectively, I'm pretty much at peace with everything at this moment. Um, let's see. I wish somebody cool came back like the Hurricane. Yeah, Hurricane was cool. Shane Helms. What belts did Triple H unveil? I missed it. The WWE ID. Right, the WWE ID belts. Now I'm assuming those titles will be presented to somebody who's on that new show, the Evolve show. That's going to be starting March 5th on what is it, Tubi? On Tubi. So we'll see how that goes. Will it just be who does the best in a certain amount of time, or a tournament of sorts? I assume. Now we'll see how that goes for the men and women over there. I'm going to try to check that out. Um, have Finley put a singlet on? It's one way to do it. It's one way to do it. I wonder what they did with those crown jewel belts. Well, they remain in Saudi Arabia, Tony. They said they weren't going to travel with them, so I'm sure they're in a trophy case right now, or who knows, in a vault somewhere, and they'll pull them out next November for whoever is the champion then. Whether it's Cody and Gunther again, whether it's two new champions, one of them are new champions, and or there is a new champion for said title, and then they'll go at it and then become the champion, take a couple pictures with it, bring it to the press conference, and then hand it over to Triple H as they did this past November. Cody Rhodes, Liv Morgan, and they'll place it back in Saudi. They don't travel with them, obviously, because they're for Saudi only, and they're not to be defended anywhere else. So that's how that goes. Um, so let's see here. Tiffany cashing in and becoming, yeah, that was a great one, Rachel. And it wasn't just the fact that Tiffany cashed in successfully against Nia Jax. It was the fact that those 3 minutes were golden. It was so perfectly executed. Tiffany comes out, looks like she's going to cash in. She doesn't. She helps Nia win the match, takes out Naomi with the briefcase, comes in, ends up, hitting Nia with the briefcase when she's about to do a splash onto Bianca Belair. But then before that, took out Candice LeRae. It was just so perfectly executed. So that was a very fun cash in, absolutely one of my favorites, not just for the women but all time. Liv doesn't get to defend her belt. No, no, not at all, Tony. As far as I know, she's no longer champion. So, and again, it's not if Cody loses his championship before November, it's not like Cody's going to be able to go over there and defend that title either. As far as I know, I assume that it's more of an honorary thing. You win for 2024, you win for 2025, and so whoever the two champions are for the men and women next November or this November will then clash, and we'll see who is the crown jewel, who is the champion of champions every November in Saudi, and that's just how that's going to go. At least that's the impression I got. At least Nia can sort of work now. She was hurting the hip. Yeah, well, that's how I feel, Tony. And some people just got their mind made up. And look, to each his own. They haven't changed their mind as far as the Nia they saw in 2018 and 2019, taking out women left and right, whether it was Sasha, whether it was Becky Lynch, and the list goes on for days. I think she's much improved. Now, I'm not saying she's above and beyond amazing, but I think she's had a formidable 2024 and relatively decent 2025. Um, yeah, but that's what I'm thinking, Tony, as far as how that title scenario is going to work out for the men and women over there in annually in every November for Crown Jewel in Saudi. So appreciate you guys joining me tonight. Again, be sure to hit that like button, hit that thumbs up. Hit that subscribe button if you have not already. If you're watching and you haven't subbed and you want to comment in the chat, look, all you got to do is subscribe. After a couple minutes, you'll be eligible to hit me up in the chat, and all is well. So let's see here. Are we on repeats? As far what do you mean, Miss J? One of my favorites was Vader, and he used to, folks. I'm willing to give anyone a chance. Yeah, I mean, hey man, this much is true. I like Leon White as much as any of you guys. I enjoyed Big Van Vader. He was a lot of fun. Um, but I hear what you're saying. He was a little rugged, right? To say the least. He was a little rough in there. You're confused as well, Miss J. Well, that makes two of us. That makes two of us. All right, gang. Well, I'm gonna head out of here in about 2 minutes. I am having a Spindrift sparkling water. I do not get paid for this advertisement, but it is a sparkling water. I've had this before. I was introduced to it last year. It's actually very, very good by a good friend of mine. However, I have not had this flavor. It's raspberry lime. It's all right. It's not one of my favorites. I've had better ones from them. Um, let's see here. Vader was good in WCW, not in WWE, says Sean. I mean, look, Vader had a more prominent role in WCW. I mean, hey, he was world champion there, right? He would have been in WWE if Shawn Michaels would have put him over, but that's a story for another day. I didn't mind him in WWE. I watched him in both promotions, but hey, it's fair to say he had a better run in WCW because he did take it further as far as titles were concerned too, and booking, right? Um, you never heard of it, son? Yeah, I never heard of it until last year. So a good buddy of mine put me on a relatively healthier, unsweetened sparkling water. Not bad. I have not, Rachel. Is it any good? You tried that out? Fix my headphones here. I'm gonna try to. I like the fact I got my nice backdrop here and stuff, but I'm gonna try to. I don't know, angle this a little better with the lighting. I mean, even though the lighting and the audio seems pretty good for you guys, I want to make it so it doesn't look like I'm fading away here. Maybe I'll just keep it down here like that. It's not too shabby. Maybe reverse the mirror angle. I kind of like the reversed angle better. I mean, this is cool, but we'll see. We'll see. I'll do a couple different tweaks in the coming days and weeks here. Get it to my liking. Let's see here. It's because they couldn't book him right. Yeah, yeah. Shawn Michaels had his ways. Shawn Michaels definitely had his ways on screen and behind the scenes in the '90s. So, look, I was a Shawn fan from early on as a member of the Rockers with Marty Jannetty, but I'd be lying if I said he wasn't a bit of a pain at times. I think I might have. I'm not used to this angle, so like I gotta like everything's backwards. Let's see. Now had Vader. Thank you, Rachel. I'm glad the audio and pictures working out for you guys. Vader had the helmet like he had in Japan. Oh God, yeah, absolutely. That the mastodon. He was a problem over there, Tone. He was a problem over there. You guys are wild. Got a wild crew, wild bunch, wild bunch. Whether we have 4, 14, or 40 people, we always have fun. Poor Marty couldn't get over. No, he couldn't. He could not, man. Marty's a guy I actually met in 2017 at a convention. The same time I met Val Venus and all them. And you got to remember, Marty was an IC champion. I think we spoke about that. I believe I had him sign that title behind me as well. Um, so yeah, cool interaction. Got a photo with him and all that. He's married now. Good for him. Did you hear Sean said that he has 1 or 2 more matches in him? Did he, Rachel? Look, Sean was very adamant about not coming back. I know he came back for that Saudi show rather in 2018 with Triple H against the Brothers of Destruction, which was an embarrassment. Triple H, I think, tore his pec in that match, and I just remember Shawn telling Triple H in the corner of that match towards the end was like, "We're too old for this, you know what?" And it was also very weird seeing Shawn Michaels wrestle bald. You know what I mean? Like we've gotten used to Triple H wrestle with damn near no hair for years at all these WrestleManias and events and stuff. But to see Shawn Michaels wrestle, it's one thing to not have long hair, but to actually have no hair, I don't want to do that. I don't want to go down that path again. I don't want to go down that path. So let's hope he keeps his mind made up that he doesn't want to wrestle anymore. We have enough footage to look at on Peacock, so that's good, or YouTube. Um, yeah, he's hurting Tony. I mean, his knees might not be as bad as Kurt Angle, but not too much better. Um, yeah, Cena with a bald spot. Yeah, still taking time to get used to that too. Short hair Triple H ruined the game. I hear you, ton. But you know what? Triple H, and I agree. And Triple H with long hair was amazing, just like with Shawn. But there was a point, as I'm even staring at a Triple H action figure I have on my studio wall here, a bald one, right? I most of the action figures I have of um, Triple H have long hair. This one I'm looking at from WrestleMania 32 or whatever, bald. I could get used to that. I refused to buy the action figure a few years ago of Shawn Michaels bald. Even if you gift it to me, I probably wouldn't. Well, maybe I would accept it if you gave it to me for free. I'd probably keep it, but I refuse to buy a bald Shawn Michaels action figure. I won't do it. Triple H, I could digest that. Shawn, I could never, could never. Um, yeah, yeah, that happens. Tony happens to the best of us. I mean, hell, me and a lot of my friends were in our 30s, late 30s, and a lot of them started losing their hair in their early 30s. So, hey, man, they lost it much earlier than Shawn did. Let's see. Triple H as the game was probably the best era he's had in his career, yeah. Though like many, Motorhead is great and all that. It's time to play the game and all that good stuff. I, like many, am in the minority or maybe the majority of I enjoyed and preferred his theme song um, with the whole My Time, the My Time bit. I thought that was awesome. Um, I was a big fan of that song. I know he was a good majority of him having that song. I know he was still with China and stuff, mainly in heel fashion. I love that theme song. Motorhead, great, love it, but that's my 2 cents. Let's see. I want that invisible Cena. I just wish they sold an empty box. Yeah, right, Tony. Imagine that paying $25, $30 for an empty box. Ain't that something? I did see that figure last week. They posted. Yep, Ringside Collectibles. My Time Triple H with China. That was amazing. Yeah, that was a good one, Tone. That was a good song. That's definitely on my playlist. I play it rather often whenever I get to playing wrestling theme songs. That's for sure. If you're on some of my TikTok lives, when I open that up, I played that many a time as well. So, all right, let's see. I was so mad every time he defended his championship. If he bled, I knew he would win. Yeah, I think that right. The statistics showed, Miss J, that more times than not, if not every time, that was simply the case. Um, right, the same guy that did the Degeneration X theme. Right, the voice sounds similar, so that only makes sense. Tone, my time. Yeah, right. Yeah, that was awesome, man. I remember the DX in Your House pay per view they had when it was just Shawn, Triple H in China. I think Rick Rude had moved on at this point in time, I believe. Probably already went to WCW. Either or. I remember that DX in Your House, and I remember when they performed live. And I think they may have performed live on another occasion too. I just remember how cool that was. They may have even performed live for WrestleMania 14 when it was Shawn Michaels versus Stone Cold for the title, obviously. Um, I used to love seeing that, man. Got me pumped up. Got me pumped up when they would show the Titantron and then they would cut to the live performance, cut to the wrestlers every other clip being DX. What a time, man. What a friggin' time. A lot of people say, music, sports, entertainment was there. We had the best era. We had the best era. But I can honestly say, like, especially me being in my late 30s, I caught a good enough amount of the golden era as a little kid and going into my teens, seeing a vast majority of that attitude era and then WCW and all that. And I can honestly say, man, the 90s, late 80s, 90s collectively, what a hell of a time to be a fan, of professional wrestling. Unbelievable, man. Um, let's see. Are you going to get the new Cena? Rachel, I would like to. I don't think I'm actually going to. We'll see. We'll see. There's a few others I have my eyes on too. But we'll see. We'll see. Like if somebody wants to send me one in my PO box, by all means, I will gladly pick it up and shout you out. But I don't know if I'm going to go out of my way to buy that new Cena action figure. Yep, that's true, Tony. Triple H took that right out of Rick's playbook, right? Evolution. He learned from the best. No, that's a great pickup. That's an astute observation, Miss J. Noticing the Triple H bit as to why he would typically or when he would win his matches. Ravishing Rick Rude, one of the best heels ever. They had some studs. Ravishing Rick Rude, love him, Tone. Love him, love him, love him. I wish he was, alive to accept his speech for the Hall of Fame, but it was nice having his son up there speak some words. That was great. Not gonna lie, Roman shouldn't have got the cover. It should have been Bray or Cena. Yeah, I wouldn't have been opposed to that, Miss J. I don't know how Rachel Reigns feels about that, but honestly, I wouldn't have been opposed to that. Bray would have been cool. Yep. Son did such a good job. Yep. Definitely did, Tone. Definitely did. Ravishing Rick Rude, man. He was awesome. I mean, talk about those spray painted trunks and how he made it so personal against rivals over the years. Just great stuff. Or Seth. Yeah. I'm sure you're not opposed to seeing your man Seth on the cover either, right? That's for sure. All right, guys. I think I'm going to cap it off at 1 hour. That will take me to another 3 or 4 minutes. Again, if you haven't already, please take this opportunity to hit the like button, hit the subscribe button. And again, I'll be here Friday night, immediately following Friday Night SmackDown, full review of the show. I look forward to talking about everything SmackDown tomorrow night with you guys, especially if The Rock's showing up. We're going to talk Jimmy Uso versus Drew McIntyre. We're going to talk about DIY, Johnny Gargano, and his partner, Tommaso Ciampa, going up against Pretty Deadly for the tag team titles, and many other stuff. I don't know if did they advertise a women's match? I don't think I saw it, but yeah, I figured you'd say that, Rach. Yes, Miss J. Have a great night, guys. Thank you for joining me here as well. Thank you for the subscribes, guys, the new members here, a couple new members, and the thumbs up and all that good stuff. Derek, what's up, man? Catching me at the end here. Thank you, brother. Good seeing you, D. Be sure to hit that thumbs up, guys. Subscribe if you haven't already. I'm going to get out of here in 2 minutes. We'll see how I feel. I may hop on TikTok one last time tonight. We'll see if I got it in me. Do you think the Shield will get one more last run when this whole tribal thing's over? Man, oh man, Tone. I don't know, brother. I don't know. I would love to see that. I would love to see that. I'd love to see Dean come back one last time. But the biggest thing is, I think we only see Dean return when he goes in the Hall of Fame one day. I don't think we see Moxley or Dean in a WWE ring again. But we'll see. Who knows? DX or Free Daily. Yeah, I forgot about that. Yeah, that's right. DX. Yeah. What will Rock do tomorrow? D, I wish I knew, man. I wish I knew. It's hard to say after that version of Rock we got January 6th on the Netflix debut. It's hard to say, man. I would love to see the final boss, but I don't know. I don't know. But I'll be tuned in, and I'll be here this time tomorrow night talking about SmackDown on YouTube. Full review on SmackDown. Hopefully before Seth retires. Yeah, Mox's contract ends in 27. Okay. All right, it's a lot. It's very close. What time in 27? We don't know, right? Exactly. But hey, two plus years away. It's going to be a lot closer than we think. So Mox is doing his thing, man. Many would argue that he's been the face of AEW through and through. He has been, especially when the whole Punk controversy was going on. All kinds of uncertainties boiling over, and Moxley kept the train on track. I know he went away for a little bit with his own issues. But you know what? He kept the train on track and dropped to MJF at Full Gear 2022. Yeah, 2022. And yeah, the rest was history, man. But appreciate you guys joining me, guys. I'm gonna head out of here in 1 minute. Again, I may hop on TikTok and I may hop on TikTok and see if I could dabble with this setup over there for a little bit. We'll see. But thank you for joining me. Thank you for joining me on this late night trial run of the new setup here quite a bit. And I look forward to doing this yet again tomorrow night with you guys for Friday Night SmackDown review. Never did I think Wheeler would turn heel, but again, I hardly watch Ada. Yeah, it's been weird seeing Wheeler Yuta with that stable the last 2+ years. It seems like he's been a heel ever since he joined the Blackpool Combat Club 2 years ago, but he just keeps becoming more and more of a heel, deeper heel tendencies. So now he's maybe a believer. Initially, I was like, this guy really? He's with the best friends, but now I'm like, okay, I can see where Wheeler Yuta's headed. So I love it. Again, guys, I am out of here right now. May hop over to TikTok for a little bit and try things out over there in a minute or two, probably 5 minutes. But again, guys, if you haven't already, hit that thumbs up, hit that like button, costs you nothing. And again, if you have not already, if you're not in the chat, be sure to subscribe. I will see you, ladies and gentlemen, here live tomorrow night, immediately following SmackDown, full review of SmackDown. And that's that. So you guys take care. Thank you for everything. And I'll see you around.